Hey guys, it's Pat from Pat's Brewery, and we're going to be sampling our first beer of 2024. Spoiler alert, I have tried it already. That's right guys, so a couple of weeks ago I shared a video just with a brief let you know I've done my first brew day of 2024, and so now we're going to be drinking it. Now, I don't think I particularly said what the first beer of 2024 was. Well, what it is a rebrew of a beer that I'd done a couple of years ago, which was called then the Amarillo Wave. And what that was very much a homage to the vacant gesture. Now, most of you know what the vacant gesture is, but just for those that don't, the vacant gesture is a beer that was created by Harry Brew 69 himself from Harrison's Brewery, and the original beer, it showcases the hop mosaic, and really it's a great recipe with regards to showcasing hops. Now, when I originally brewed this and when I got the recipe for the vacant gesture, because obviously I've brewed that as well, I done it purely from Harry's recipe. I've done it purely from Harry's videos where he's talked about the recipe, and I was able to build it out from there. But what I have found is that actually my version of the vacant gesture has always come out a little bit darker than his. So when I was redesigning the recipe for this one, based off of doing the double batch, and I don't know if you can hear that. So when I was rebrewing it this time, when looking at the grains to purchase, I tried to make sure that I was going for some lighter EBC colourings, so to make sure that I was a little bit more in line. So just from looking at it, yeah, 100% definitely more in line with the vacant. Now, it has not cleared that much yet, but that might actually be a little bit of chill haze. It's a lovely beer. It is. As I say, this is the Amarillo Wave. Now, one of the things that I also changed with regards to this from last time, as I say, previously when I brewed this, using the vacant as a guide, I kept the hop schedules previously a lot in line with that. But actually, I decided to up the hoppage on this one. What I'll do is I'll put the recipe down below. I can't recall everything off the top of my head, but effectively, normally on a single batch, you can get away with, I think, 100 grams of mosaic or hop of choice, and it's effectively you use Challenger for your bittering. Then you use about 30 grams in your whirlpool, then 30 grams in your first dry hop, and then another 30 grams in your second dry hop, with a little bit of leeway either side. But I think I actually ended up using, obviously, as I say, I've done a double batch, but I think I ended up using probably basically a dosage and a half. I upped the hops on this one, not the bittering obviously, but I mean, I kind of go, with regards to this beer, what is it? It is just the beer that you want to drink when you've got that hankering for some Amarillo. You know, it's that orange citrus flavour. When I first tried this, I was a little bit concerned that going with the lighter malts meant that I was maybe losing something. And yeah, maybe. But I think this is a really nice beer. That it really, I like Amarillo so much as a hop that this is almost like, to me, a standard, a staple. You know, I like Mosaic, I like Citra, obviously, there's nothing wrong with those. But Amarillo is like my hop choice. So, you know, that's what I do like. Now, as I say, I've said it a couple of times now, repeating myself, that I've done a double batch. Pat, why are you doing double batches? Well, obviously, I've got a big ass mash tun, and I can technically fit a double batch into my boil kettle. It does go right up to the top, and God, I had some very close boil overs. I'll throw in a little clip or something of how close we were to the boil over. Well, no, we did fully boil over, but I managed to kind of manage it a little bit. But so why did I do a double batch? Well, after I give my beer engine a good clean out, because we've not used it for a while, I'm going to be running the second keg through the beer engine. You know, get the cask style. I know it's not proper cask because it is in a corny keg just at a low pressure, but you know, bagging the boxes are just such a pain with regards to clean up and bits and pieces and managing it that way. So I think it is best to do it the way I am doing it, but you know, it's still a nice, it adds a different dimension to the beer. But also, why am I doing double batches? Well, I've got a cunning plan. So, I'm on a journey of consistency. This beer was meant to be 4.1%, and it wasn't. It was well over. It's hit 4.9%. So my efficiency was a bit too high. I've adjusted the recipe again. I'm going to be brewing it again, trying to get that 4.1%. Because the aim is that if I can hit something consistently, then I can add adventure. But Pat, you say, are you telling me that this is the only beer you're going to be brewing all year? No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Because the whole point of this double batch is that although we are going to be brewing with the same malts, we're going to be brewing with the same malts, we are going to be mixing up some hop schedules. And what we're going to be doing is actually doing a double batch and then splitting the batch into two fermenters and doing different dry hopping. So we're going to actually be trying to get same beer consistent a couple of times. So we're, you know, managing the actual brew day consistency, but we are going to be doing some different hops or different volumes of maybe the same hops, just to kind of get a little bit of experimentation in there as well. That is a good beer. It is. I love Amarillo. Oh yes. Yeah, so what am I thinking with regards to these hop mix-ups? Well, don't have a notepad with me because I forgot it written down. But I'm going to call this range that I'm going to be doing, it's going to be the Citra Mac, right? Because I'm just going to roll it out there a little bit. But basically, the brew day is going to be pretty simple. Going to be using Challenger for my bittering. Then we're going to be using Citra as our whirlpool hop. Okay, nice structural foundation of Citra. Good stuff. Then for our dry hopping, we are going to be using Mosaic, Amarillo and Centennial. Now I know our friend Big Banana, he doesn't like Centennial in the dry hop, but actually I think it's okay. So we're going to be doing 3 versions of this, 4 technically. So the Citra Mac is going to have Mosaic, Citra as the foundation on the hot side. Then it's going to have Mosaic, Amarillo and Centennial. Now we're going to be doing it that the first one is going to have more Mosaic than the other 2. So imagine maybe 50 grams and 20 and 20. Then the next one's going to have 50 grams Amarillo and then 20 Mosaic and 20 Centennial. And the last one, 50 Centennial, then 20 on the Mosaic and Amarillo. You see where I'm going with that? The Mac, and as far as marketing goes, I think Citra Mac, and then you'd have a big M, a big A, a big C. They're all called Citra Mac, but you've got Citra Mac M. You see what I'm doing. You see what I'm doing. And then the last one, the Mosaic, Amarillo and Cascade Centennial. The Mosaic, Amarillo and Centennial will all be at the same level, just so that we've got a baseline to see where things raise up and where things drop down. So that's the plan. Brewing things out, doing stuff, consistency with regards to the malts and the fermentation and bits and pieces, trying to get the same numbers, the right numbers, but some experimentation with regards to the hop schedules and stuff. Yeah. There we have it, sports fans. This was the first brew of 2024. I think it's gone quite nicely. Obviously, a little bit more alcohol than planned, but can't complain too much about that. I've got some plans for the future. I am going to be brewing a couple other beers as well this year. Don't worry, it's not all going to be the same. But till next time, guys. Pat from Pat's Brewery, drinking the Amarillo Wave version 2. Cheers.